What's up, everybody? I'm QB for Culturalist Theory, bringing you one of the hardest thought out lists to date for none other than the one and only Sade. How do you possibly rank the catalog of an artist's projects that are all multi-platinum, 5 of 6 of them landing within the top 5 of the Billboard 200, and has a mystique that's admired across the globe? Well, somebody had to do it, and that's what we have for you today. So please don't come for our next if your personal favorites aren't in the top half. Just know there's no love lost on any of these albums. With all that out of the way, tap those like, subscribe, and notification buttons so you don't miss the list. Let's get to it. Number 6, Soldier of Love. Their only album that wasn't released on a cassette tape. Sade's most recent album, 2010's Soldier of Love, went gold in its initial week out and debuted atop the Billboard 200. It also went #1 among other charts worldwide. With Travis blaring first single/album track, Soldier of Love gave some insight into what's been going on since we last heard from them an entire decade prior. If you don't know anything else, just know that Sade has always wanted to share her feelings with you in lush detail. You'll hear the sweetest baby daddy song ever in Baby Father and feel her disappointment in The Moon and the Sky. And when Sade is done with you, she is done, as she tells the tale of peeling you off and washing you away on Skin. After that, she becomes that friend indeed on In Another Time, giving you all the support needed after facing your own heartbreak. While not a perfect album stacked with classics, if Soldier of Love proves to be the final Sade album, at least they've left us with a few modern day favorites. Number 5, Promise. Ever popular track and lead single The Sweetest Taboo was a #1 hit on the adult contemporary charts. And while this happy and love song doesn't fall into said category, Sade references a quiet storm a few times throughout, and AC is a genre that more than a few of their songs easily slots into. The catchy, similar feeling follow-up single, Never As Good As the First Time, did not relate to the album's chart performance, as Promise sold in excess of 4 million units and was the band's first album to top both the UK album chart and the Billboard 200. The final single, Is It a Crime, showed how masterfully Sade can ebb and flow along with the band's instrumentals, from soft and sultry to loud and vibrant. Mellow but sweet memoir, You're Not the Man, expresses her dismay over her guy slowly turning opposite from the one who gave her a lifeline. We even get a little Spanglish going on in the solemn feeling Fear. Admittedly, there are a few tracks that don't warrant much replay, such as Mr. Wrong, Punch Drunk, and Tar Baby. But the stronger tracks here more than make up for the few stumbles on its otherwise solid sophomore project. Contrary to popular belief, Sade doesn't only refer to its namesake lead vocalist Helen "Faux Sade I Do," but rather the band as a whole. This includes Paul S. Denman on bass and guitar, Andrew Hale as the man on the keys, and Stuart Matthewman grooving on the saxophone. Originally formed across the pond in London circa 1982, the group has been creating hits and touring the globe since their official debut in 1984. Also, the guys of the band formed the collective Sweetback as a side project, producing albums in 1996 and 2004. The initial project included songs with the likes of Bahamadia, Maxwell, and Amel LaRue of Groove Theory providing vocals. Number 4, Stronger Than Pride. Released in the spring of '88, Stronger Than Pride peaked at number 7 on the Billboard 200 and is their sole project that was outside of the top 5 on said chart. #1 hit Paradise feels as good as the title suggests, and Keep Looking is an up-tempo track that you can throw on when you're in need of a little self-encouragement. Known as the first background vocalist to sing alongside Sade, Leroy Osborne returns for additional duty on this album. After lending his voice to the single version of Never As Good As the First Time 2 years prior, he's included on the third single, Nothing Can Come Between Us, and lead single Love Is Stronger Than Pride. The latter featuring a very dreamy backdrop with soft guitars and drums that could lull you right to sleep. The love serenade continues on Give It Up, where Sade emphatically proclaims she'll give you her life and demands that you surrender your love in return. Things get really emotional on I Never Thought I'd See the Day, as she pleads for a miracle to keep her loved one from straying. An oft-overlooked album in their catalog. Definitely take some time to discover or revisit this one because there's a lot to enjoy here. Number 3, Lovers Rock. Following an 8-year hiatus, Sade returned in late 2000 to produce Lovers Rock, named after the romantic style of reggae music, which can be heard on the track of the same name. This is one to turn up a bit in your headphones, tilt your head back, and just vibe out for sure. This is their lone project where only a pair of singles were released, the first being the beautifully lush By Your Side. Fun fact, the track was also remixed by the Neptunes, but mercifully, it's not featured on the album because, to put it bluntly, it's terrible. The new track and vocals simply don't fit together, and if there was ever a misstep by Chad and Pharrell, count that remix as one of their worst. The other single was King of Sorrow, another guitar-driven track where she laments having cried the world's tears and already paid for her future sins. Yeah, that definitely qualifies her for the King of Sorrow title. Considering the global admiration Sade has, it's hard to fathom how anyone could hurt and tear tear her apart as she cries out on Somebody Already Broke My Heart. Wrapping up in less than 45 minutes, this collection debuted at the number 3 spot on Billboard 200 and stayed on the charts for a mind-boggling 58 weeks. Guess absence really does make the heart grow fonder, doesn't it? So, have any of you out there been fortunate enough to catch Sade live in concert? If so, where'd you see her? What was your favorite performance? Share your memories and moments down below in the comment section. Number 2, Diamond Life. The album that kicked off their career, Diamond Life, arrived in the summer of '84 and spawned a total of 4 singles. The first, Your Love Is King, starts off with an unmistakable saxophone riff before Sade waxes poetic about a love that gets her to dancing and makes her soul sing. Number 2, When Am I Going to Make a Living, is about exactly what the title suggests, and it's always interesting to hear when new artists come out describing their hunger on record. However, it was single number 3 that had the most significant impact. Smooth Operator, which, if you didn't know, is a story about a cross-country gigolo. Hey, everybody's gotta make a living. Topping the adult contemporary charts and peaking at number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100, the song has been covered and referenced by tons of people ever since. Yes, it was that popular. The rest of the album is Sade and the band simply finding themselves and grooving out in the way that only the 80s band could do it. Diamond Life held the record for the best-selling debut by a British female vocalist for more than 2 decades and earned multi-platinum status across various countries. So, while Sade was new to this at the time it came out, there's no denying now that they are, in fact, true to this. Number 1, Love Deluxe. Entering the 90s with an updated, more contemporary style than before, Sade could have simply titled this album Sultry and Sexy and it would have been a no lie. Sultry and Sexy is the whole entire vibe of 1992's Love Deluxe. This is also conveyed throughout with the 4 singles that were released. Be sure to go check them out after we wrap up things here. First single, No Ordinary Love, leads off with an extra smooth bass line and drum kicks that get you ready for all the love she's got to give and then some. The video treats the audience to Sade donning a mermaid getup, as well as running barefoot in a wedding dress. Ironically enough, the final song on the album is an instrumental entitled Mermaid, something you can play softly on repeat when needing some mental relaxation. Second single, Feel No Pain, is a song of poverty and hope, which was later sampled in 2001 by Bone Thugs-n-Harmony's Crazy Bone for Hard Time Hustlin'. Singles Cherish the Day and Kiss of Life are certified Quiet Storm baby makers. Take a quick listen to the latter.
You gave me a kiss of life. Kiss of life.
The emotion that Sade sings with on Like a Tattoo and Pearls will have you all in your feels too. A timeless classic, Love Deluxe is one of the greatest love albums ever made, so if you're not already familiar with it, don't deprive yourself any longer. Well, we hope we didn't hurt too many feelings out there. Do you think we got this one right? What are your top 3 Sade jams? Let us know in the comments below. Once again, I'm QB for Culturalist Theory. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss a list.